Hello, and welcome to the Fiscal 14 Marketing Planning Process. My name is Marnie Cherno, and I'll be joined today by Amy Swakowski and Besa Arana, all of the K-12 marketing team. So let's jump right in. The marketing planning trainings this year will be a little bit different than in years past. This year we're going to divide them into three brief sections of both recorded and live WebExes. First, obviously, you're watching a recorded WebEx today, where we will be talking about program updates to discuss the revisions to current programs, as well as new programs that will be available in the coming year and costs. The second piece will be another recorded WebEx, which will be on the use of the new marketing planning tool. This is a brand new tool for Fiscal 14, and it's been built in a new platform. So we're really excited. It'll be a much faster, user-friendly tool. So that piece will be recorded on a separate WebEx. And really the intent of recording is so that we are using everyone's time well and you can fit it into your schedule as necessary. And then after those recorded WebEx sessions are viewed, you will be invited to attend a region-specific live Q&A WebEx where you'll have the opportunity to ask questions about the programs themselves, overall strategy, and then use of the tool. And your respective regional marketing directors and other region members will be talking about the region-specific strategy. And then, of course, you'll be jumping out to develop your own strategic plan in the new marketing planning tool. So, again, today's WebEx, today's agenda is really to review the program preview updates and timelines. And we will not cover every program in depth here, but as part of the communication that you receive about the planning process from your region, you will receive additional resources that do have more in-depth information in them. This program overview guide that you see on the screen, the Guide to Growth, is something that should look familiar to you if you've been around for a little while. And again, this guide will provide those in-depth descriptions of all of the available programs and those that we don't cover today. And then the other piece of that communication will be the District Budget Quick Planner, which is a quick way to assess or estimate what the cost will be before going into the marketing planning tool, which will have cost as well. Again, you'll see estimated or average cost here for some of those programs that are variable in cost, like a brand implementation, and for those that are a set cost, like a fuel kit, the exact cost will be built in. So again, a couple of additional tools that will not be covered in depth today. Okay, so as a business, the priority focus areas this year in terms of marketing will be around the following three buckets. First, we'll talk a little bit about school-level planning. Basically, as you're all aware, we have been focusing much more so on identifying opportunities at a by-school location. So to help ensure that we're doing this as efficiently and effectively as possible, we'll look at some of these tools for this year. So I guess it's really the metaphor would be it's kind of the proverbial elephant and how you eat it. Really, you're not eating it all at once, but it's really one bite at a time. So the same in our planning. It's really one step at a time, recognizing that we cannot focus on everything everywhere. So these tools will help us better focus our efforts. And as we become better at identifying where our greatest opportunity is, we can best focus those efforts to maximize our impact. And the second bucket is on our growth programs. And we all know that growth is always a focus area. And the proprietary programs, the dining brands, promotions, etc., are really there to help us drive that growth, whether we use them individually or in combination to maximize impact. And understanding that there are constraints in this business, you will see us as an LOB focused on a few of these key areas, including merchandising, that renewed emphasis on promotions, as well as breakfast and a la carte. And then the last bucket we'll talk about is our communication and engagement programs. Our Healthy for Life program will see expansion and better integration into our other programs this year. Our student surveys will be expanded as Aramark as an enterprise continues to shift our focus to our frontline first and understanding customer voice. The need to understand our customers and our consumers' needs and wants to best be able to meet those needs will become more deeply ingrained. And then we'll continue to work on providing communications and training about continual and ongoing regulatory changes. So with that, let's jump right into that first bucket here in terms of the school level account planning and what's happened and what's going to happen. So the business planning tool has multiple parts to it, and most of you have hopefully seen the first part of that build, which is the marketing inventory piece, where you were asked to complete the number of schools you have, your free and reduced percentages, the type of line configurations, and condition of equipment in each of those schools. And the purpose of collecting that data was really to better identify areas of opportunities that we have across the business, and to be able to provide and develop the support resources and programs necessary to focus there, as well as to track and quantify the impact of those programs without asking for as much manual reporting as we may have historically done. And the second piece of this is the development of the new marketing planning tool, which is built into the same platform. So you'll now see both the inventory and the planning in the same place in that business planning tool. And again, I'm not going to get too much in depth here because there is a separate WebEx that will cover the use of that new planning tool. But basically, just to whet the appetite a little bit, that tool is significantly faster than the tool that we've been using for the past few years, that web-based tool. And the shift will be, instead of planning by month, we'll be focusing on planning by school to align really with the overall philosophy that we need to focus on by school location strategies. And then the other great part of that tool is that it will allow for future build-out to help continue to enhance our ability to plan strategically and improve the process overall. So with that, we will move into our next.
Over the last few months, we piloted a third-party front-of-house audit system with MarketForce. MarketForce is an industry leader in customer intelligence, including mystery shopping and brand audit. They work with many retail brands, including restaurant and grocery chains. Our audit focused on the execution of our dining brands, promotions, health and wellness, and merchandising. The objective is to provide additional support to the field in identifying opportunities and provide guidance to enhance on-site execution. Ultimately, the audits can identify participation drivers, help us benchmark sites, and conduct a gap analysis and create peer groups. This information will allow us to provide more prescriptive guidance to site-specific growth opportunities and to understand where we should focus training and field support. We are currently assessing the pilot program and are targeting a division-wide rollout for the fall. To support your growth planning for the 2013 and 14 school year, we will address the program categories listed on this slide over the remainder of this WebEx. This slide represents our current high school portfolio. From left to right, we have our proprietary UBU Lounge brand, which is flexible to fit all high school locations. Next, we have our proprietary food court brands that we launched over the last few years. These are station-specific or menu category-specific brands that incorporate a specified menu and requires dedicated serving space. And finally, a listing of the franchise brands where we have established relationships. Franchise brands require more financial investment and also require dedicated serving space. The food court brands are our latest brand innovation and serves as a refresh for our existing UBU Lounge site. We now have over 360 installations of our food court brands across the country. The specified recipes are currently undergoing reformulation to meet the new menu guidelines. In the process, we need to remove some items while identifying new items to maintain the food court brand's differentiation from our traditional high school menu. More to come on that in the future. The average installation cost is still $2,000 to $3,000 per station. Sites that were involved in our pilot phase and initial launch experienced a 1% to 2% average lift in overall participation per station. That means a 1% to 2% average lift in the overall cafeteria participation driven by just one station. You can access the break-even analysis tool and the brand toolkits available on aramark.net under the Food Court Solution link in the marketing section. Here are a couple illustrations to show you what our brands look like in sight.
Okay, so the next piece of our growth planning, we'll talk a little bit about our promotional programs. And as you all know, promotions can increase participation. And if you remember back, if you were here about 3 years ago, there was a heavy emphasis on our promotions programs. And that focus will come back in the fiscal 14 as we learn to better integrate promotions with our core menus. So in terms of the overall program structure, before we get into the specifics, this is the framework, and there will be some changes here for this coming year. The elementary structure, we will be moving to a health and wellness approach as the mandatory minimum for execution. As you see highlighted here or bolded here, the ACE monthly program, there will be multiple tiers. And within the first tier, which will be, again, the mandatory minimum, we will be moving to a wellness-themed poster series. If you are currently executing this is this current year a fruit and vegetable and a wellness series, but the feedback has been that a single program would be a better fit for elementary school locations. In combination with the wellness posters, there will also be special event promotions posters that are currently in the kits and will remain going into next year. And then there will be a new Healthy Bites series, which will be a turnkey kit with everything necessary to execute a passive or an active sampling in your cafeterias. These kits will include point-of-sale materials as well as PA announcements and other takeaway materials, and will be focused on items and entrees that are taken from the core menu, so it will be those things that are applicable across regions, and will also align with our overall monthly theme for all of the programming. The turnkey demo kit will come as part of both the ACE monthly Tier 1 programs as well as the fuel kits, and does have multiple goals. One is a no-risk sampling to generate interest amongst our students who participate with us less frequently or our non-users who do not participate with us at all, and ultimately, hopefully, to drive some of that participation. Additionally, this will help to align with our health and wellness programs to create a more comprehensive program, which we'll talk about in a bit. And then to align the themes across the programs so that there's a more cohesive program that has increased impact and is more easy to understand from our customers' perspective, as well as more efficient for us to execute. As in years past, there will be the ACE Premium program. We're now calling this Tier 2 just to make it simpler from an understanding and execution that all elementary programs will now be under that ACE tiering structure. So this, again, is the traditional giveaway program that has the premiums 100 per case as well as the posters to promote the giveaways. And in terms of the fuel kits, they will continue to have the fuel promotion as well as the special event promotions. And the wellness series, again, this current year, that's 2 series. It's a fruit and vegetable and a wellness series, which will also, for secondary students, be combined to one based on your feedback. And additionally, we'll also have the new Healthy Bites as part of this kit. Obviously, that will be customized for a secondary audience versus the elementary audience.
Every year, we continue to try and enhance the promotion program. This year, we are collaborating on a deeper level with OPEX to determine the best way to integrate fuel recipes into the core menu, taking into consideration the related NutriKids procedures. Integration will help us place better control over when the recipes are slotted and to maximize the impact of the promotions for your account. We are also investigating ways to further incorporate photos into the implementation materials and to better support your frontline staff execution. With potentially fewer feature recipes, we may be able to provide more prescriptive guidance on station setup diagrams, display plate configuration, and potentially incorporate video guides into the .NET toolkit. As Marnie just shared, we want to create more direct alignment with the Healthy for Life platform. We'll be doing this through monthly theme integration, combining the As with every year, we try to enhance the promotional program in different ways. This year, we are collaborating with OPEX on a deeper level to determine the best way to integrate the fuel recipes into the core menu, taking into consideration the related NutriKids procedures. Integration will help us place better control over when the recipes are slotted and to maximize the impact of the promotions for your account. We are also investigating ways to further incorporate photos into the implementation materials to better support your frontline staff in executing against the standards. With potentially fewer feature recipes, we are able to provide more prescriptive guidance on station setup diagrams, display plate configuration, and potentially incorporate video guides into the .NET toolkit. As Marnie just shared, we want to create more direct alignment with the Healthy for Life platform through monthly theme alignment, combining the fruit and veggie poster and wellness poster into one combined health and wellness poster, and introducing the new Healthy Bites sampling package through the Fuel Toolkit.
Okay. In terms of the ACE monthly program, there is a program change under this program that we discussed a few minutes ago. The program will now be tiered to consolidate all elementary promotions under one umbrella. So if you have been participating in the ACE monthly program, you know that it's a health and wellness message with ACE, our mascot, the fox, and his friends, to practice fun activities and learn healthy tips to stay fit. And we're still in discussions with various organizations, including the Smithsonian Institute, to determine our theme for next year, which will be determined in the next few weeks here. So in terms of the tiers, Tier 1, again, as repetition is the wellness point-of-sale materials, the special event promotions posters, as well as the new Healthy Bites. And this will be the mandatory minimum execution at our elementary schools. The Tier 2 program will be completely separate. It will be our monthly premium program, similar to years past. And then Tier 3 will be a combo kit, which will have bundled pricing, which is essentially a combination of both our Tier 1 and Tier 2 programs. And I know there was some confusion for those of you who ran both programs last year in the way this was designated in the marketing planning tool. So to clear it up this year, basically you will just order what you need, and then on the back end we'll calculate any discounts, which will be nominal for any combinations. In addition to the premium programs, there are numerous other support items for ACE and our overall wellness theme, with the goal to provide resources that allow the integration of ACE and friends throughout the cafe, in the school, and as well as at home to drive excitement and engagement with our programs. And all of these items can be found on aramarkpromotions.com, and you'll see several of them here, but there are many additional resources, the cutouts, the stuffed A's, etc. A couple of other mentions here for resources that are less familiar and newer are our ACE Gardens website, which is acegardens.com, where if your district is interested in school gardens, there are toolkits that can be used in the classroom by teachers or other individuals to help understand how to grow school gardens and the resources necessary. And then the aramarkgifts.com site I wanted to mention. I know some of you purchase additional premiums for giveaways. This is a site where one of our vendors, Spirit Marketing, has tested or have their vendors test all items for safety, including for lead. So just an additional resource. In terms of our kit elements for this year, what you will see is prices staying the same for the most part, or in some cases being a little bit lower. Again, our ACE monthly program will be tiered. You see the Tier 1 are, again, the items contained here will be $18 a month plus shipping. And the ACE monthly, again, no cost increases at $29.50 per case per month. And if both programs are ordered, you will receive a bundled discount. Our fuel kits also will remain the same price as last year, and we'll have similar items, the fuel promotions, the wellness posters, again consolidated, along with implementation guides and the SCP materials, but we'll have the new edition of the Healthy Bites. The Healthy for Life kits we will talk about in a bit, but you will see some price adjustments here to better reflect the program's cost. The informational materials will be again available this year, but what will change is the option for the Wellness Education Center holders. And the price variation, $25 per quarter, would be if you are just ordering wellness materials, the print materials, and then there will be incremental increases based on whichever holder you would like, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Throughout the school year, we have focused on getting back to basics, including a renewed focus around effective merchandising. By now, you should have all completed the new online merchandising training module. Offline versions of the module are now available on aramark.net. You can access these through the quick link at the bottom of the K-12 homepage. These versions are available in both English and Spanish for use with your frontline employees. Additionally, you can also take advantage of the toolkit we developed to support your in-person employee training. This includes a facilitator's guide, participant guide, and directions on how to orchestrate a hands-on exercise as a knowledge check. We have also provided planograms for 4 core menu categories to help your frontline staff remember the key techniques for each category. These include entree, pizza, grab-and-go grill, and deli. It is good practice to print these off and keep a copy at each of the stations for easy reference for your staff. Additional tools and resources will be developed to assist you in maximizing food presentation at your site. Currently, our partners at Strategic Assets and Hubert are working with us to create a K-12-specific source catalog that will serve as a one-stop shop guide for all smallwares, brand trade dress, and other merchandising needs. This is being developed based on field feedback and should be available by late April to further assist you in your planning efforts for next year. 2 other areas for enhancement include creating program-specific planograms and creating packaging standards for the division. Both would be incorporated into the program training tools and assist you in meeting execution standards.
Our new School Dish platform and layout, shown on the screenshot above, will be available for school year 2013-14. The migration to the new platform will be done in phases, so expect to receive communication within the next few weeks as we solicit interest. Training will then be provided on how to set up and maintain your customized district sites. We will be piloting 2 sites throughout April, and this will help us determine the ease of use and functionality from both the perspective of site management and of parent users. This revamped look is more user-friendly, and the content we've included on the site is fresh and aligns with our health and wellness platform. It includes our wellness pledge, nutrition news and programs, as well as tips from our dietitians. Also, the site will allow customization for your district's menus, local events, and other district-specific content. You may also add links to your district site or any applications that need to be filled out by parents, such as free and reduced forms. There will be a charge for setup as well as monthly maintenance fee, as we've done in the past. Once it's been determined, the details of the pricing will be communicated at a later date. If you do take advantage of School Dish, be sure to keep the site relevant by posting the most recent district updates. We developed a free and reduced district plan tool to help you determine key steps and actionable goals that you can use to help your district maximize the capture of direct certified students, increase the number of received and approved free and reduced applications via effective communication and application drives, and improve communication to households and community to increase meal participation. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to get to. This online district plan tool, which can also be accessed from .net, goes hand in hand with our free and reduced step-by-step guide and MealSense program. And the MealSense program, as some of you know and have used, consists of various online and offline materials and tools that can be used to reach out to households. And this also helps minimize the stigma that's associated with the topic of free and reduced. Rocket Scan is a technology that helps with the collection and processing of free and reduced applications. We have a presentation available on .NET that you can all review at a later time, and this outlines our partnership with the software developer and their capabilities to assist your district with the free and reduced initiative. So please review and share this information with your client to determine if using RocketScan is the right course of action for your district. We'll continue to make any necessary upgrades to our district plan tool so it can be as relevant and useful as possible for everyone to use as you prepare for the next school year. And these upgrades will depend on the feedback we receive through our operator viewpoint survey that's taking place currently. And as before, everyone will have the ability to view any district report as a point of reference, and we encourage this as a way to share best practices. We'll continue to provide weekly email reminders on progress, as well as the ability to view consolidated progress reports by region. This is meant to help you stay engaged and on track. It also helps your DM see the progress of each district in detail, and it will include the percentages of action items that are either completed, in progress, or are delayed. We encourage the utilization of this tool, as the Free and Reduced initiative will continue to be a priority and expectation in the future. Ideally, the tool should be used as a living document, rather than something that just needs to get updated every once in a while and just completed. So keep in mind that setting goals and milestones and making sure to follow up on action items will help you have better success with the tool and the initiative as a whole. To help you determine what steps are important to take, please follow the step-by-step guide document that's included with the tool. And remember that early client buy-in and community outreach is key. So the tool layout includes 10 categories with a list of required and optionable action items for district to commit to. And the categories are listed in order of priority. So for example, the first categories are regarding self-education, getting client buy-in, understanding the direct certification and application collection process. So you must first have these categories completed in order to move forward with the plan. So in other words, in order to know whether you can help out your district with this initiative, you first have to get their buy-in. So make sure to do this step first. Also, using the multiple forms of communication available to you will help, such as the MealSense website and any print and email materials that are available. Calling and in-person visits help.
Okay. As you're aware, breakfast really continues to be an area that's ripe with opportunity. And while we've made tremendous strides in the past several years to increase breakfast participation, it certainly remains an area of opportunity in most of our accounts. So as a business, we'll be focusing on continued growth with emphasis on BIC, our Breakfast in the Classroom programs, and Grab and Go as well, which we know drives increased interest, participation, and ultimately positive outcomes for our students and our districts. So as you're developing your growth plans for next year, keep in mind that focusing helps, as we talked about, taking one bite of the elephant at a time. And we don't need to do everything everywhere, and ultimately that's not often effective. So if, for example, you don't have any breakfast in the classroom in place, perhaps starting with one school versus the whole district, or even with a few grades versus a whole school, or during certain time periods where the idea of breakfast in the classroom or grab and go may be better received, such as during state testing periods. So there are numerous resources available on .NET for understanding where the opportunities lie and evaluating your space in terms of breakfast programming, to look at the cost and the ROI of putting capital expenditure against the program, or what labor would be necessary to enhance or increase the breakfast program, sell-in materials to clients, parents, and students, and then alternate delivery mode options. So what you will see here are a variety of our grab-and-go delivery options. In the center, in the middle, is our original cart, where there are also a variety of options, whether it's a solid stainless or a Metro cart, and also equipment options to accommodate various cost structures. On the right, what you'll see is our modified cart, which has been modified for elementary school students to be a shorter height and to also utilize age-appropriate graphics. As you'll see, those are similar to our CoolCast graphics versus utilizing the AMP Up, which are geared towards secondary students. And on the left, our newest option, which is a solid stainless cart that's been engineered specifically for high-volume grab-and-go. This cart is highly durable and has a cold reach-in for milk or other beverages, as well as shelving. Now, what you see here is the prototype, so the actual cart will vary somewhat, and the graphics will be our AMP Up and or CoolCast graphics, depending on which version of secondary or elementary cart you would be interested in. This cart is currently being piloted in a few accounts across our LOB, and will be ready for full rollout by the beginning of school year 13-14.
Snacks to Go is our turnkey a la carte snacks program that helps effectively merchandise and sell snacks and foods to middle and high school students. The program offers a wide variety of healthy snack items from approved vendors that meet nutritional guidelines. The program does come with predetermined planograms of student-preferred products. Our Round 2 pilot was conducted at 26 sites, and we saw a continued increase of 2 to 7% in a la carte sales. And the rollout for the next school year includes a turnkey kit of product racks, which will be ordered centrally, and a comprehensive product mix validated to maximize sales. We currently have a list of 35 healthy snacking options, and this includes savory, sweet, and specialty items, as well as there's a fresh fruit basket. Our snack items are divided into two tiers. There's Tier 1, which is a healthy, more stringent category that meets HUSSC guidelines, and we have Tier 2, which is considered to be a healthy, flexible category, which includes a few additional snack items than Tier 1. Information outlining proper rack merchandising and snack placement is included in our implementation guide, which is available on .NET. Also available on .NET are POS materials and client selling materials. So the key objectives and benefits of this program are to maintain a standardized and professionally merchandised secondary snack program, maximize the opportunity for impulse sales, and build incremental sales in the a la carte category. And overall, the Snacks to Go program provides our student customers with the nutritious snacks they need for their active lifestyles, and it offers them the taste they love and the healthy choices they want. As you can see here, our Snacks to Go turnkey kit includes 2 Frito-Lay floor racks, 1 Kraft floor rack, and 1 Frito-Lay counter rack. Additional racks can be ordered as they're needed by school or district. Again, the proper placement for merchandising as well as options for alternative placement, you can reference our in-depth program implementation guides for a detailed description. Our next step with Snacks to Go, after we formally discuss program expansion with our vendors, is to do another solicitation for participants. And this information will be communicated to the field as soon as it's available.
Okay, our health and wellness communication platform, Healthy for Life, is what we're going to talk about next, as well as some of our other communication programs. So Healthy for Life has been around for about 3 years now, and this year we will begin to expand the program beyond just the information center materials that we've had, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I do want to briefly talk about the information centers because of the changes that we have. The current program has 3 to 4 informational slicks, depending on whether it's an elementary or a secondary kit, that are distributed quarterly in quarters 1 through 3. So next year, the slicks will be streamlined and will be better aligned with our core promotional programs, as stated throughout this WebEx. The goals, of course, are to begin to create an umbrella for our wellness programming, as well as to bring wellness across channels and locations, at home, into the classroom and in the cafeteria, much more consistently than we have with our programming to date. And to be able to create consistent, cohesive messaging that aligns with our FUEL program and our ACE program, primarily to increase customer understanding, to increase the impact and the value of our programs, and really to provide an opportunity for us to clearly articulate how we're addressing nutrition, health, and wellness more comprehensively as an organization. And so here's what will change in terms of the display units themselves. Again, the materials will be available, and previously you received, if you were part of this program, you received a new display unit each year, and the type was selected for you. And however, we felt it a better option to have that holder as an a la carte option. Since some of you have units in good condition from previous years, it provides an opportunity to save a few dollars and cut down on unnecessary waste. And if you need a specific type of holder, which you'll see here, whether that's a countertop, a floor standing, or a wall hanging unit, you'll have the option to choose which is most appropriate for whichever school in which these items will be displayed. And they will be priced accordingly based on actual cost. The cost of the unit will be spread over that three-quarter charge along with the materials. And in the marketing planning tool, you will see those exact costs laid out to make that decision. So moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about the program expansion of Healthy for Life. Again, this is a program platform that was started in K-12 and is now being adopted by the enterprise across various business units. So we're really excited about that, and we want to be able to provide additional resources both in our cafes by providing those formal turnkey tasting kits that we talked about, the Healthy Bites program, and as well as to carry information into the classroom where appropriate and into home. So building the opportunity to bring wellness across channels and across locations is key. So what you'll see here is some of the current resources in black, and in red you'll see the items for future build-out. So again, you're aware of the current print materials that are available. We did develop one in-classroom module under the headline of Growing Up Healthy. Again, this module is for use to do an interactive lesson in the classroom. However, what we felt was that while many of us would like to do that, and perhaps some of us can get into the classroom to do these, we wanted to make the modules available to other groups, whether that's teachers or PTA groups, whether that's we're doing these, using these at health fair, to really provide lesson plans that, again, are interactive to engage the kids that we can utilize in the classroom. And then we will be developing additional information for home distribution, whether that's via print, whether that's using video series that are on demand or online. And future build-out over the course of the next several months and years will include, again, the intent to have a nutrition education video series, culinary demo series, and then to better integrate all of our programs with social media, with Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms. And currently online, just as a reminder, there is the myhealthyforlife.com website, which has nutrition and wellness content. You can link to this site from your district's website if you're looking for additional wellness resources or your district is asking for those. So the Student Viewpoint Survey. As I said in the beginning of the WebEx, the enterprise is really beginning to focus more heavily on understanding the importance of the customer voice. And while we are looking at additional options to gain a more in-depth understanding, such as more broadly looking at customer and constituent focus groups, one of the key opportunities that we have to leverage information or to glean insights from our customers, our student customers, is through the Student Viewpoint Survey. So if you have run the survey in this year or in years past, you are familiar with it. But if not, the benefits are really that you get very in-depth data analyzed by a research organization. It doesn't require a lot of work from a survey design perspective, like developing a Zoomerang or a SurveyMonkey. And that the support is there, again, from a research organization as well as from the corporate team, from point-of-sale advertising materials, giveaways where that's allowable, et cetera. You will see the cost here, and again, in the marketing planning tool, it will clearly articulate which cost is relevant, and the cost varies depending on the number of schools that are participating in the survey. And then the last piece that we want to mention before moving into the timeline is our back-to-school kits, which you have seen over the past several years and are delivered to our districts prior to the beginning of school year start to discuss Aramark as a food service provider and what we offer. And again, these will be coming this year, and we are looking at some enhancements to the back-to-school kit, as well as providing on an ongoing basis more emphasis around employee training and tools and resources, whether that's on USDA regulation changes or other key relevant pieces to our business. So in terms of the timing, the key parts to this year's planning process, again, as we started off the WebEx, are really to watch this WebEx, which if you've gotten to this point, you've done, and then to watch the second WebEx, which is use of the new marketing planning tool, which will be very important to see because it's completely different than the former web-based tool. The third piece of that will be attending the live Q&A strategy WebEx sessions, and all of these due dates will be region determined, but you can look from a general timing perspective that the live Q&A strategy sessions would be held sometime at the end of March or the beginning to middle of April, depending on your region, and that the final account marketing plans would be due by May 1st timeline. So again, you will be seeing additional communications from your respective regional marketing directors and region leadership teams to determine which each of these key dates will be and the process that will happen there. So with that, this is the end of the first WebEx, and hopefully you'll be joining us on the second WebEx about our marketing planning tools soon.